What's up? It's MJ here. I'm going to make a quick video about integers, okay? Adding and subtracting integers. Let's go full screen here. So I found this online virtual manipulative site here, so we're going to use that. It's not perfect, but it will do. Actually, let's see if I can blow it up a bit. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, so on this site, we're going to look at adding and subtracting integers. Obviously, in class, we've looked at those as well. Um, you know, the key is really in grade 7 is we're not about speed. Okay, this is a model that takes a little bit of time, but on my test there's going to be just a couple questions, and your job is to obviously get it right, but also to model it, to show your thinking, to show your understanding. Okay, so it's just like imagine being in grade 2 or 3 where we're learning addition, subtraction. It takes a little time. We've got little bears, little things out. We're adding and subtracting real things. That's what we're doing now with integers, because this is the first year we've had to add and subtract integers. Grade 8, you will multiply and divide integers. Okay, so it's just like that. We're just building up our skills, building up our understanding. That's the goal. Okay, so in class we probably talked about money, talked about MJ's Amazon warehouse. We did the hot air balloon. We did all those other things, and those models are fine. And if that helps you understand them and you can model them, that's awesome. But I found in my years that most kids prefer this zero pairs model because it works for addition and subtraction, and it's very clear. Most kids find, and I would agree. So that's the model I'm going to look at here. So let's start with addition. So let's do. So sorry, this is worse than my regular handwriting. So let's go +3. And you know what? When in doubt, throw some brackets on. It's never gonna be wrong to put brackets around something, and it really isolates what symbol you're working with. Okay, so let's go with +3 plus negative. I don't know. Let's just go -5. Okay, and in grade 7, we're just working with simple numbers. Like single digit most of the time. We're not gonna have huge numbers. Okay, so if I'm going to model this, I'm thinking of the story. So it starts with +3, and then we're adding -5. So let's go. Let's start with -3, or sorry, +3. Okay, let's move those down here. So we start with +3. Oh, they actually stack nicely, and that's the start of our story. Okay, think of it like a story, not like an equation. So +3. So starting off with 3, we're adding on -5. So let's bring in those -5s. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look at that. Probably save myself a lot of time just by doing that. -5. Okay. And again, if we're thinking in terms of money or something, so it's like I get $3 allowance or whatever, and then I'm also spending $5 or losing $5 or something. $5 is going away, getting 3, losing 5, right? Adding 3, subtracting 5. So what happens when we do that? Well, now we've got some zeros, right? Because we know that a positive and negative together make nothing, right? It's like I give you a dollar, take a dollar. What do you got? Nothing. Here's a Pokemon card, give it back. You got nothing, right? So that's nothing, and that's nothing. Those are all zeros. That's why it's called zero pairs, okay? Or opposite pairs, sometimes it's called. And what are we left with? Whatever's down, whatever's left on either side. In this case, it's -2. Okay, so that's the answer to the question. And that makes sense. We have more negatives than positives, so our answer should be negatives. Um, and that makes sense, right? MJ's warehouse, I start off with a +3 degree warehouse because I'm storing whatever paper supplies, like something that's normal, and it doesn't have to be too cold or too hot. So 3 degrees seems reasonable. And then I'm turning on 5 air conditioners, right? So it's like it was +3, and then I turn on these 5 air conditioners, and obviously then the temperature goes down. Where does it end up? -2. Okay, the warehouse example is kind of weird because it's like, who's got these air conditioners that are exactly -1 degree and heaters that are exactly +1 degree, right? But it's just a way of thinking about it. Okay. So I think addition, most kids really get that pretty quick, and like you could just do this at home, right? You just draw the integer chips. That's the word. You could just draw them out, put a little positive negatives, or use a red marker and a yellow marker or whatever, and just roll a dice, come up with some numbers, add them together, see what you get. Okay. Obviously, if you're going to add negative numbers plus also negative numbers, you're just going to have a lot of negatives. There's not going to be any zero pairs. Just like if you add positives and positives, there's not going to be zero pairs. It's just going to be really positive. Okay. On the test, it's going to be a mix of those two, because otherwise, what's the point? Okay. So there we go. So let's go into subtraction. So subtraction, usually kids need a little more practice, a little more thinking. It's a little different, but zero pairs is going to work as well. So let's go, let's come up with a question. So let's start off with a positive number. So let's go with +6. And oh my goodness. Let's start fresh here. I don't know what happened there. Like got locked in the bottom of the screen. Okay, positive 6. Let's see if I can not do that again. Yay. Take away, and let's take away a negative number. Okay, so let's take away negative 4. Okay, and equals unknown. So again, I'm going to build a story the way that the questions told me. It tells me it starts with positive 6. So let's start with positive 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And now it's asking me to subtract negative 4. And I look at what I've got, what I've created on my little workspace here, and I've got a problem. Okay. I mean, I've got lots of problems. Don't get me started, but I've got a math problem currently. Okay. I need to take away negative 4, but I can't. There is no negative 4 to take away. If it said take away positive 6, or sorry, if it said take away positive 4, no problem. I just take 4 of these away and I would be done, okay? But there are no negatives for me to take away. There's only positives. So that's the problem. How do I fix that? Well, if I could just bring in 4 negatives, that would be great, right? Because then I could take away 4 negatives. But that's not math. You can't just bring numbers in because you feel like it or because you need them, right? You can't just bring in negative 4. That doesn't make any sense, okay? But you can bring in nothing, right? Because if you got 6 and you add nothing to it, you still have 6. There's no change there. So why would I bring in nothing? How does that help me? Because I can bring in 0 pairs, okay? So I'm not just going to bring in negative 4. I'm going to bring in 4 zeros, all right? So in order to do that, I need to bring in a positive and a negative because they cancel each other out. They're nothing. So I bring in a positive and a negative. I brought in nothing. Okay, I did not change the value of this because I added nothing. But you can see there is now a negative that I could remove. So do it again. Another nothing, another nothing, another nothing. Okay, so I added in 4 nothings. Why 4? Because I needed negative 4. And now I got negative 4 to get rid of. Ready? Take away, oh man, take away, oh my goodness. Take away 1 negative. So that's take away negative 1. Take away negative 2. Take away negative 3. Take away negative 4. Oh my goodness. Now all I got to do is add up what's left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. My answer is positive. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's happened to the pen tool here. Hey, okay, positive 10. And again, if I think about it, not in terms of 0 pairs, but if I just think about it in terms of sort of MJ's warehouse, in this case, my temperature starts up at positive 6. I'm storing some plants or something, I don't know. In my warehouse, it's positive 6. And this time, instead of turning on, right, plus is turning on, takeaway is turning off. So it's positive 6. And then I turn off 4 air conditioners. So turning off those 4 air conditioners means it's going to get warmer. Okay. How much warmer? Well, 4 degrees warmer. So we go from positive 6, turn off those air conditioners, it gets warmer. Now we're at positive 10. Okay, that makes sense. Money, it's a little weirder, but you can sort of think about it in terms of money. I start off, getting a $6 allowance or something, and then like I was gonna spend $4, but I didn't, and now I have 10. It's not really as clear. Okay, so you can see why I like 0 pairs better for subtraction, because the money gets kind of weird. Because it's like if you don't spend $4, then wouldn't you just still have the 6? So it's not quite as clean. Okay, I think the warehouse example is pretty good, and the 0 pairs is good, and the hot air balloon doesn't work as well for subtraction. So that's really why I like 0 pairs. Okay. And again, if you want to practice this, it's easy. Just pick some random numbers and then go from there. Okay, so hopefully you find that video helpful. That's 0 pairs. Works great for addition, works great for subtraction. My favorite model, but doesn't mean you have to use that model. Okay, use a model if you're choosing. All right, peace.